So it's been about a week since I posted my last video, and the last video that I posted was a music video that I made using all artificial intelligence, all AI, and I had so much fun making it that I was like, I just want to share with people how I made it, because on the one hand, it's super exciting because it's so easy to make. Like, I think the video I made personally, not to like brag, but I think it's beautiful. I really like it. And I was like, man, I know nothing about music except for if I like how it sounds. So I was like, if I can make this, anybody can make it. So I'm going to share with you how I made it. I'm going to share with you the AI platforms, what it costs, and then I'm going to share with you also my thoughts on what I think the ethical implications for artists are on how easy it's becoming to create all of this art. I'll share that at the end. But before we get started, in case you haven't seen the video that I posted last week, I'm going to play 30 seconds of it. And if you want to see the whole thing, the link is in the description of this video. So here it is. I hope you like it.
Sunbeam sift through emerald leaves, dappling light on forest weaves. A symphony of life awakes. Each creature's voice the silence breaks, whispering wind through ancient boughs. Whisper secrets nature vows. Giant oaks with wisdom old shelter tales yet to unfold. Busy bees with wings abuzz, sipping nectar nature's fuzz. Rabbits hop on playful stride. Squirrels scamper, treasures hide. Whisper of the wedges hide.
All right, so let's see. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to create lyrics with Gemini. Gemini is Google's AI, and all you have to do is have a Gmail account to log in. If you don't have a Gmail account, it's super easy. Just set up your own Gmail account. And then once you do, we are just going to go to, we're going to open this up. And you'll see that Gemini is very conversational. It's the reason that I've been using Gemini over ChatGPT, is I just really like how speaking with Gemini feels like I'm collaborating with another artist. So I'm going to explain to Gemini here that we are screen recording this conversation for a YouTube video so that Gemini knows that's what's happening. I'm going to then explain that we are creating a music video and that we want to put together some lyrics in the form or structure of a song. So typically I'll explain to Gemini, this is what the song is going to be about. Here are some of the specific words that I would love to be placed in the song. And then I will ask Gemini to structure it in the form of song, and that's what Gemini will do. So the lyrics and song that we're creating here are about my cat Simon, who unfortunately recently passed away just about a week and a half ago, but we're still going to go ahead and create a song about him. I miss him dearly, and he's, you know, my soul cat, my best friend. So this is what we're going to do a quick little clip video about. And you can see that Gemini does 3 different lyrical options, 3 different drafts, and I'm going to go through and let Gemini know that there's 1 or 2 things that I'd like to be able to make a change to, and Gemini gives me the change, and I'm then going to copy and paste everything that I like about the song onto a notes pad on my computer, so that when we open up Suno, where we are going to make the song, we can copy and paste from the notes pad on my computer. Okay, so now that we have our lyrics that we wrote with Gemini, we're going to move on to Suno. And Suno, you can basically just go to suno.com, and they have you sign up with your Gmail account. So half of everything you're going to be doing, you're going to be signing up with Gmail. So if you don't have a Gmail account, I would get one. Yeah, so I'm going to log in. Let's see. And you can see that I have the notes pad brought up that I copied and pasted the lyrics from Gemini onto. I'm going to take just a third of the lyrics and paste them into the song description. And you want to unclick the custom, you want to click custom mode so that you can put the lyrics in. Otherwise it'll create the lyrics for you. And the style of music, you can type in a style or use random. I prefer to type in a specific style and then do the title. And then after we have all of our information put in, we're going to click create. And it takes about 30 seconds to 45 seconds for it to be able to create 2 options for you. And each option is going to be 2 minutes long. And then once we have the 2 options, we'll choose one to extend a minute-long clip and then another minute-long clip to get a complete song. So it looks like they're about done. There we've got one. And we've got our second one. And now let's listen to them and see how they came out.
20 years, a purring friend by my side. You've always been through thick and thin, a constant beat, the rhythm of my happy feet. Simon, my soul cat, forever true. You see me through my whole life with you.
Okay, so that's really pretty. Let's listen to the second one.
20 years, a perfect friend by my side. You've always been through thick and thin, a constant beat, the rhythm of my happy feet.
So basically just keep hitting create over and over again until you find an iteration of the song that you like. Okay, so I think we've got a song that sounds pretty good now. So what we're gonna do from this point is we're gonna expand the song so it does 2 minutes, and then you can expand 1 minute at a time. If you sign up for the free account, you can only do 2 minutes. So you wanna pay for the subscription, which is $10 a month or $8 if you do it annually, and that allows you to extend it 1 minute at a time. And I've found that you usually have to extend it twice to get what feels like a full and complete song. So I've now found one that I like, and I'm gonna go ahead and extend it, and it is the My Soul Cat indie track. So we are now going to work on extending that track.
Simon, my purring friend by my side, you've always been.
All right, so we are in Midjourney now, and I've created a prompt so that we have a black cat, which is what Simon looked like, and we're going to do some images of him as a kitten all the way up until the end of his life so that we can create a little video with his full journey. And it's going to take a little time to create all of the images that are needed. So instead of doing a full tutorial on Midjourney, let me know if you'd like a separate Midjourney tutorial. This is just kind of a quick overview so you can get a visual on Midjourney, but you can really bring in images from any type of generative AI software or even images from a camera if you'd like. Really the point is just to have some images that we can put into Runway ML. I'm gonna go through and probably make, let's see, so the runway animations are 4 seconds each, so I'm gonna go through and make about 10 images so that we can do like a 30-second clip together to give you a full idea. So I'm just gonna plug away on creating these like 10 to 20 images, and then we'll come back together and do the runway portion. All right, so we are in Runway ML now, and we are going to click on the section that says Try Gen 2. And then we're going to go find one of the images that we created in Midjourney, and we're going to drag it into the section that says drag and drop image. I guess we'll pick that one. We'll drag it in there. It takes a little bit to load, and while we're loading, you can look over on the left-hand side at the key where it has all of the text and brush options, and then below it, it has a description option if you want to just type in a description. We're going to click on the brush. And you can see when we click on the brush, it gives you 5 brush options. I'm going to use the first brush to go in a vertical motion so that all of the rain on the window is going to look like it is dripping down like it's a rainy day. So that's the nice thing about Runway ML is it because it's AI, it's going to understand when I do this vertical motion, it's going to understand that I want those raindrops to look like it's raining. You can also see down below where there's the paintbrush that you can erase sections if you want, and you can go back to the brush and continue on. All right, and now we're going to click the vertical section, and you can adjust how much you want it to do and which direction you want it to go. I want it to go down since it's rain. And now we're going to go into brush 2, and I'm going to paint over his face because I want him to be able to have a little bit of motion in where he's looking. And so we're going to say that we want him to like turn his head a little to the left. We'll go to brush 3. And we're going to paint over the leaves so that we give a little life to the leaves as well. Try and get every little leaf here. You can also, which I'm not doing right this second, but you can change the size of the brush if you want to get super detailed with it. I'm going to do ambient. I've noticed that ambient kind of makes it like it moves like it's giving it life. I really like the ambient one. And let's see how that comes out. I love it. It's perfect. This is exactly what I was wanting. So it knew that the vertical paintbrush meant the raindrops needed to fall in a vertical direction, and his face is even sniffing towards the plant. So yeah, this one is a win, and let's move on to the next one. All right, so now we are going to do an up close image, and I think this one would be nice if we do a little bit of a camera motion here. We are going to zoom in so we can get even tighter on this really sweet moment that is happening here, and then we'll go over to the motion brush and add a little wind in the hair, so a little bit of movement in the hair. There are 5 different brushes, but I've found on some of them that sometimes it works best to just do one, especially if you're doing some camera motion. You don't want to have all 5 brushes and the camera motion. It seems to be just a little bit too much, so less is more, I think. And yeah, ambient is good for giving it that kind of wind-blown look. Okay, so again, we got what we were looking for. We zoomed in and got a little bit of wave in the hair, and this pretty much concludes Runway ML. It's a super intuitive user interface, and you just keep making clip after clip after clip until you have enough clips to create a video. So we just finished up making the video clips in Runway ML, and I'm now going to put together the audio and the video clips in some video editing software. I'm not going to take you guys through that process because I feel like video editing is a whole thing in and of itself. But I thought I would share with you, I did some math on when I created the Whispering Winds video, which again, the link is in the bio if you want to see the whole thing. To make that video, I used 51 images that I then turned into video clips. So I made 100 images in Midjourney and then edited it down to my 51 favorite. From those 51 images, I made 4-second clips, but then I actually used a little over 80 clips to make the actual video because some of the clips I repeated in there. So like you'll see the chorus has some repeating clips. And yeah, so about 80 video clips. And then I wrote down the prices. So I pay $60 a month for Midjourney. I pay the $35 a month subscription for Runway ML, and then $10 for Suno, and Gemini is free. So $105 a month. You can reduce, and I might myself reduce the Midjourney one down to $30 a month, and you'd be looking at $75. So it's not free. But I do think that if you work in the arts or like content creation in any way, I do feel like regardless of whether you plan on working in AI, that it's important to understand the technology so that you can project where things are going to go in music, in video, in photography in the future. Because it's not until you really dive in and get your hands in it and like feel out how it works that your wheels start turning and you start going, oh, okay, I can see how this could be implemented here, and I can see how I can integrate this into my workflow there. And I think you start to also be a little less fearful when you start working with it, because you can see where the limitations are, but you can also see like where the automations might be as well. So knowledge is power. It is going to affect all artists, and I think, you know, if you work in the arts in any capacity, I think it's a really good idea to work with it and see where it's going. So as a photographer, I feel like I can empathize with musicians on how the impact of Suno, and I guess also Udio is the other one, how that's going to kind of affect the music industry. I feel like photography first got affected with Instagram, and it's not that Instagram is AI, but it was the first time that photography was really kind of commoditized, and there was that saying, everybody's a photographer now, because all you had to do was pick up your phone, push a button, put a cool filter on it, and then boom, you were, you know, on Instagram. And there were a lot of people who became photographers by career solely through Instagram. And while it did flood the market with a lot of photographers, I feel like what happened is there was a lot of really bad photography that flooded the market, and the good photography still rose to the top. So it does open the door, though, for people who don't have the same level of skill to be able to create and turn it into a career. So it does definitely saturate the market, but there still is that like top 1 to 5% of photographers that work professionally, that I feel like people who are using like Instagram and iPhones and stuff aren't able to achieve that level, because it just still requires too much technical knowledge to be able to do it. And I think the same thing is going to apply to Suno and Udio. Like, for example, I know nothing about music. I can go in here and create a beautiful song in Suno, but I could never go on, you know, play in a concert. I could never go to a nightclub and sing a song because I can't even sing on key. Maybe I could, I don't know, I haven't even tried. It's just music has never been something that I've tried. It's not my creative expression. I've always been a visual artist as opposed to dealing with like frequency and audio. So yeah, I think the same thing is going to happen, where there's going to be a flooding of the market. It's going to commoditize and saturate music in the market, and that kind of mid-tier is unfortunately going to feel the impact. But there's always going to be that 1 to 5% that have mastered their craft. They're extremely, extremely talented, that will be unaffected by it. So those are my thoughts. Hopefully you make a video now, and if you do, please leave a comment so I can check out the video that you make. I'd love to see what you guys create. And here is the 30-second clip of what we made together. I hope you like it.
Simon, my pairing friend, by my side you've always been. Through thick and thin, a constant beat, the rhythm of my happy feet. Simon, my soul cat, forever true. You see me through my whole life with you. Loving eyes, knowing per through thick